as you know, the topic is attractiveness of the rural market. So I thought of creating a small peep in what's happening in rural India and the data that follows. Okay, so let's go through this by scope of emerging markets, which is rural India. Attractiveness of a market depends on whether the potential that it holds can be unlocked, thereby releasing value. This is purely economics. If you're talking of attractiveness and if you're wanting to unlock the potential, then you're talking economics. 70% of the Indian population lives in villages, which is about 6 lakh villages, and the number of villages keep going down. Every new census, the number will come down, because that's a symbol of growth and integration of smaller villages with the larger hub towns. That's how it is. And this census, hopefully it will go down further. And there are over 5,000 small towns, which adds up to another 20% of the Indian population. So we are talking of 90% of the Indian population. We don't need maths now to say whether this is attractive or not attractive. We are talking of 90% of rural, of India, forget about rural. This is your mass market. The flip side is that 22% are BPL families, below poverty line. Now traditionally, people would say that let's remove and leave these BPL families out of the purview. Well, if you leave it, even then it is pretty high. We are talking of 78% of the market. But why do you leave it out? Because BPL segment also buys essential categories. The biscuit is being sold, the tea is being sold, and they are buying it. The food, the kind of food that they buy might not be the ones that we would even want to see. But at the end of the day, they are consumers. If you have the challenge, if you can take up the challenge of producing goods to even market it to them, they are also a market. Sizable chunk of people society still hold to be attractive to shampoos and biscuits. Why? Because they still dole out 50 paisa 1 rupee shampoo sachets, and they are the consumers. The health category is again a big bonus for them. For the last 2-3 years, Government of India has been pushing lots of money into RSBY. That is one reason why the other partners, which is in the private sector, should start looking up towards the healthcare bit. That's about. Let's look at the financial part of it. There are 104 million Kisan credit cards, which has already been disbursed by the government. There are approximately 22,000 banks catering to rural India. And if I do the rural-urban ratio, for every one bank in rural India, there is 2.4 banks in urban India. Gross inequalities. If you look further down at the loan disbursement, it is around 6%. Now, if 6% of the total loans disbursed in India is only rural India, what's happening to the balance? There is a huge opportunity which is waiting for long in the rural areas. And it's not about one bank just for savings deposit. It's also about whole host of products that they need. They want to buy cars, they want to buy cars, they want to buy two-wheelers, they want to have good house, good amenities, but they don't have banks to take this. Whom do they go to? They go to money lenders. And what is the rate of return which is being charged by money lenders? 30%, 36%. Now, if you open a branch there, I'm sure there will be enough business there for you as well. Let's look at some of the data. Mobile penetration is around 25%. Two-wheeler is around 14% and 1% is car. So even if I remove the four-wheeler category, these two categories are there already for you to capture on, both in terms of the content and also in terms of new markets that you could try penetrating in.